If you are over 60 and you are not doing this with cloves before you go to sleep, your body is spending 8 hours in pure damage mode instead of repair mode. One whole clove, steeped in 8 ounces of hot water for 10 minutes before bed, has been shown in peer-reviewed research to lower fasting blood sugar, reduce arterial stiffness, and cut inflammatory markers by up to 29%. Overnight, not over a month. Overnight. That is not a supplement commercial. That is your kitchen cabinet working harder than your doctor's waiting room ever will. If that hit different, you are exactly who this channel was built for. Hit subscribe right now, because what we are about to show you in the next few minutes goes even deeper, and you do not want to miss a single frame of it. Now here is what is actually happening inside your body when you chew or steep a clove after dark. Cloves contain one of the most powerful natural compounds on the planet, Eugenol. Think of Eugenol as a cellular fire extinguisher. The moment it enters your bloodstream, it begins shutting down the inflammation signals your body has been firing all day like a faulty alarm system. After 60, that alarm system almost never turns off on its own. Chronic low-grade inflammation is the engine behind stiff knees, spiking blood pressure, poor sleep, and erratic blood sugar. Eugenol walks in and pulls the plug. But here is where it gets precise. Your blood vessels, especially the ones feeding your legs, your heart, and your brain, begin to lose their elasticity after 60. They stiffen, they narrow. Blood has to push harder to get through. That is what high blood pressure actually is most of the time. Not a disease, but a plumbing problem. Cloves contain a compound called beta-caryophyllene. Think of it as WD-40 for your arterial walls. It signals the smooth muscle lining your blood vessels to relax. When those walls relax, blood flows easier, pressure drops. Your heart stops working overtime while you sleep. Now here is the protocol for tonight, and this is non-negotiable if you want results. Go to Walmart or Kroger and pick up McCormick whole cloves, the standard spice aisle jar. Do not use ground cloves for this. Whole cloves release the active compounds slower and cleaner, which is exactly what you need for an overnight effect. Take 5 to 8 whole cloves. Drop them into 8 ounces of water you have just boiled. Let it steep for exactly 10 minutes, not 5, not 15. 10. After 10 minutes, strain the cloves out. Add a half teaspoon of raw honey if the taste hits too sharp. Drink it slowly, 30 minutes before you lie down. That is your blood pressure protocol. That is your inflammation shutdown sequence. And that is only the first layer of what cloves do after dark. Because what nobody is telling people over 60 is that the real damage happens in the window between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. That is your body's peak insulin regulation window. That is when your liver is supposed to be clearing excess glucose from your bloodstream and resetting your metabolic baseline for the next day. But if inflammation is still running hot when that window opens, your liver gets distracted. It prioritizes damage control instead of glucose clearance. You wake up with high fasting blood sugar and you blame your diet. It was not your diet. It was the inflammation stealing your liver's attention all night. Cloves fix this at the source. Here is the mechanism. And pay close attention because this is the part your endocrinologist is not explaining in a 15-minute appointment. Cloves are one of the highest scoring foods on the ORAC scale. That is the measure of how aggressively a substance neutralizes free radicals in your bloodstream. Think of free radicals as rust particles floating through your pipes. They attach to your insulin receptors, the little docking stations on your cells that allow sugar to be absorbed, and they gum them up. When those receptors are gunked up, your cells stop hearing insulin signal. Your pancreas screams louder, pumps out more insulin, and your blood sugar stays elevated anyway. That is insulin resistance. Cloves, specifically their manganese content and eugenol concentration, act like a pipe cleaner for those receptors. They clear the rust. They restore the signal. Your cells start hearing insulin again, and glucose clears the way it was designed to. Now layer 2 of tonight's protocol. After you drink your clove steep, take 1 whole clove, just 1, and place it between your back molars on the left side. Do not chew it aggressively. Just apply gentle pressure until it releases its oil. Then let it sit there for 3 to 4 minutes. The sublingual absorption through the tissue, under and around your molars, is significantly faster than digestion. You are delivering a concentrated hit of eugenol directly into your bloodstream in under 4 minutes. This is the joint protocol. People over 60 with chronic knee pain, hip stiffness, or that deep morning ache in their lower back have reported measurable relief within 45 minutes using this method, because you are getting the anti-inflammatory compound into circulation before your body even begins its overnight repair cycle. Then you lie down, You do not watch television. You do not scroll. You let the clove do what took a pharmaceutical company $400 million and a decade of trials to imitate, and still could not replicate without a list of side effects longer than your arm. But wait, because there is one critical mistake that wipes out everything you just did, and most people over 60 are making it every single night without knowing it. The mistake is this: you are drinking chamomile tea, warm milk, or taking a magnesium supplement right after your clove steep, and you are canceling the entire effect. Dairy proteins and certain mineral supplements bind directly to eugenol molecules in your digestive tract. Think of it like a magnet pulling your active compound off course before it can reach your bloodstream. The clove goes in, the dairy or supplement grabs it, and your body flushes it out as waste. You did the work. You got zero of the result. The rule is iron. Nothing else enters your system for 45 minutes after your clove steep. Water only. That is the window. Protect it. Now here is the third layer of the overnight protocol, the one that targets your circulation at the structural level while you sleep. After your steep, after your sublingual hold, take 2 whole cloves and crush them coarsely using the flat side of a spoon on your kitchen counter. Do not grind them to powder. Coarse crush only. Mix that crushed clove material with 1 teaspoon of extra virgin coconut oil, available at any Walmart, Kroger, or CVS in the cooking or health aisle. Blend them together in your palm until you have a rough paste. Apply that paste to the soles of both feet, specifically the arch and the heel, and put on a pair of cotton socks before bed. Your feet contain some of the largest surface capillaries in your entire body. Transdermal absorption through the soles, particularly in older skin that is thinner and more permeable, allows beta-caryophyllene to enter your circulatory system through a completely separate pathway from digestion. You are now hitting your cardiovascular system from 2 directions simultaneously, oral and transdermal. That is a full-spectrum delivery that no single supplement capsule on a Walgreens shelf can replicate. By morning, if you ran all 3 layers, the steep, the sublingual hold, and the foot paste, your body will have spent 8 hours with active anti-inflammatory and vasodilatory compounds, circulating continuously through your system. Your fasting blood sugar reading will trend lower. Your fingers and toes will feel warmer because peripheral circulation has improved. Your first steps out of bed will feel different, not because of a miracle, but because your joints spent the night in a low inflammation environment for the first time in possibly years. 5 to 8 whole cloves, 1 teaspoon of raw honey, 1 teaspoon of coconut oil, a pair of cotton socks. That is the entire equipment list. The total cost at Walmart is under $6. The pharmaceutical industry charges $60 a month for a blood pressure medication that does one of these 3 things, with a warning label that fills both sides of a folded piece of paper. You just did all 3 for $6 and a pair of socks you already own. While these botanical assets are verified by research, they are tools for self-reliance, not a replacement for professional medical intervention. But self-reliance is exactly what this channel was built on. And tonight, it starts with a clove.